How powerful will Shadow Kyogre be in Pokemon Go? Because we have Shadow Kyogre coming out in the near future in the game at our next event. So this is going to be an exciting time, and I just want to make sure you guys know exactly how good Kyogre is in Pokemon Go, and is it going to be worth getting multiple of this Shadow in the game if you've been saving up some radars? Because obviously, if Kyogre is coming out, we're going to have Groudon coming out, and then eventually we will have the Rayquaza coming out in Pokemon Go, which is very exciting. So let's get into the details. Welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. Kyogre has a primal as well, and it's a very strong Pokemon. It even has its brand new move, finally, of Origin Pulse. So this makes this Pokemon extremely powerful in the game. This Pokemon actually maxes out at 4,652, which is very impressive, and that's without the primal evolution. So this Pokemon is extremely good. It is an all water type Pokemon, and now it's getting its shiny form in Pokemon Go. And that will be debuting on Saturday the 27th with the Taken Treasure event, which is starting off the year strong in my opinion, because Kyogre is an already strong Pokemon. I've made a video a while ago about Shadow Groudon, Shadow Kyogre, and Shadow Rayquaza and how strong they're going to be in the game. Obviously, their primals and Mega for Rayquaza is going to be stronger, and we're going to check that out here in a second, but at the same time, having the Shadows is cool as well, because Shadows don't require Mega Evolution, and you can use them without having to Mega Evolve and only use one. So we will be able to catch this, and then eventually I'm going to put this seed in your guys' mind at some point, which probably won't be too soon, because it's taken a while for us to even get shiny legendaries into raids. Eventually, we will have a shiny Shadow Kyogre raid day or raid month or whatever that looks like, similar to the Mewtwo. Now we're getting Ho-Oh at this same time. So there's a lot of really exciting things for Shadow legendaries in the future. So if you do not get a good one from Giovanni, don't be super bummed on this, because eventually we will be able to raid for it and potentially get it there. So with Kyogre being an all water type and the max CP that we talked about, it actually has an attack value of 270, a defense of 228, and a stamina of 205. With it being water, it's going to have two weaknesses of electric and grass, and a single weakness to fire, ice, steel, and water. And as far as its moveset go, it's going to get Waterfall, the only fast move that it's going to be able to get, and its charge moves will be Surf, Hydro Pump, Blizzard, Thunder, and then the elite TMable Origin Pulse. And obviously the shiny goes from a blue and it goes into a pinkish purple fuchsia kind of color, and it's pretty cool. And the primal evolution with the shiny is pretty cool as well. Okay, so less about this specific Pokemon and more about this Pokemon as a meta attacker. Let's check out its moveset and see where it does stack up against the primal version with the Shadow and all of its new movesets. Let's find out what is going to be the strongest and how close it's going to be to the primal in the Shadow form. At the top, obviously what we talked about was going to be the primal Kyogre with Waterfall and Origin Pulse at 5819. And then if we keep going down, then we have Surf at 54.58, so that's a much less powerful Pokemon than is the Origin Pulse. Then we have the Shadow Kyogre with the Waterfall and Origin Pulse at 49.45, which is 10 points below the primal, and then the regular one is at 43.04, which is 6 points below the Shadow. So while the primal is definitely stronger than we do have the regular and the Shadow, that doesn't mean that the Shadow isn't still valuable and viable to be able to have, because like I talked about, if you're going into raid battles with a full team and you need to use multiple water type Pokemon, you only get one primal Kyogre, and that doesn't cover the Shadow Kyogre, right? You can have multiple of these Shadows. Now, if you have been stacking up your research, if you don't know what about stacking up your rocket research for Giovanni, you can check this video out up here. The most important thing is eventually we will get it in raid battles, and we'll be able to have potentially multiple of these Pokemon powered up if we're able to achieve some good ones from raid battles. And then let's also check out this Pokemon because it does get Blizzard and Thunder. So the primal with the Blizzard is going to be 49.94, which is pretty powerful, and the Thunder on the primal is going to be 47.74, and in the Shadow the Blizzard will be 42.34, and the Shadow with the Thunder will be 40.46 in comparison to the regular, with 36 with the Blizzard and 35 for the Thunder. So now let's check this out in the water category overall with the best of the water type Pokemon. Where does this Pokemon stack up? And then we'll check it out with the charge move as Blizzard and the charge move as Electric. But just remember that Mega Mewtwo, which is not out yet, eventually it will be out, does have Ice Beam, which is going to compete against this Primal Kyogre and Shadow Kyogre. And then also it gets Thunderbolt, which Mewtwo in the Mega form is extremely powerful, which will also have to compete against the Thunder, Primal, and Shadow Kyogre. So let's start off with water and then we'll move to the other two. At the top we have the Primal, obviously, Waterfall, Origin Pulse, 58.19. Then we have the Mega Swampert, Water Gun, Hydro Cannon at 50.56, but very close to that Mega Swampert, which is very impressive here. We have the Shadow Kyogre with Waterfall and Origin Pulse at 49.45, and it's above by 4 points the Mega Blastoise, the Ash Greninja, the Mega Gyarados, and then the regular Kyogre at 43.04, followed by Shadow Swampert, Shadow Feraligatr, and so forth. And then if we want to go to the second page and see where some of those other Pokemon stack up, we can go right here. So overall in the game, third strongest Pokemon, competing with its own primal version, which is stronger, and the Mega Swampert, which is a strong Pokemon, and it's stronger than a Mega Blastoise in the Shadow form, which is very impressive. As I already talked about, this Pokemon is going to be an absolute beast, and it will come with frustration, so make sure to TM away frustration immediately. And then if you do happen to get a good one and you're lucky, please tag me on Twitter at the Trainer Club with 2 B's. I would love to see that Pokemon. And then you're probably going to want to Elite TM Origin Pulse onto this Pokemon, which then let's check out the Ice and the Electric. As an Ice type attacker, obviously at the top we talked about Mewtwo, Y, Ice Beam at 50.1, but then followed closely by Primal Kyogre at 49.94, which is almost the exact same right there, which is above the Mega Mewtwo X, which is pretty impressive. And all three of those Pokemon are above Black Kyurem, which is not out yet. Then we have the Galarian Darmanitan, which is not out yet in the Zen mode, at Ice Fang and Avalanche at 46.38, which is the top all Ice type Pokemon in the game. But we have the White Kyurem, Shadow Mamoswine, Shadow Mewtwo, Calyrex, Ice Rider, not out yet, Mega Gardevoir with Triple Axle, which is actually extremely powerful now. Then we have the Shadow Weavile, Kyurem, and then the Shadow Kyogre at 13th overall, including Pokemon that are not in the game yet, which is above the Baxcalibur, Mamoswine, Mega Abomasnow, Mewtwo, Galarian Darmanitan, and Mega Lopunny. And these are at 42.53, and the Shadow Kyogre is pretty much the same as the Kyurem with the Glaciate. So while it is not in the top 10 overall in the game, including Pokemon that are not out yet, it is still a pretty impressive ranking with that Blizzard, and it still hits pretty hard, especially for a Shadow Pokemon that's not getting a stab, same type attack bonus at the same time, which is pretty impressive. Now let's see the Electric category. At the top, like we talked about, Mega Mewtwo Y and X with Thunderbolt at 52.27, then the Primal Kyogre at 47.74, the Shadow Mewtwo at 46.41, followed by Zekrom with Fusion Bolt at 45.12, Shadow Raikou 44.46, and on this page, all the way down to Shadow Zapdos in the 10th spot, 42.88, we do not see the Shadow Kyogre. But if you want to see the Shadow Kyogre, we have the Zacian with the Crown Sword, which is not out. We have the Wild Bolt Storm on the Thundurus Therian form that we just talked about. If you want to see that video and check it out up here, you can check that out at 41.94. Then we see the Shadow Magnezone, and then the Shadow Kyogre at 40.46. So while this Pokemon is extremely effective in the water category, it still does pretty well with Blizzard as well as Thunder. And also, those are not the most effective moves in the respective categories. Blizzard is a slower charging, one charge bar attack move, and Thunder is the exact same. If we had Thunderbolt and we had Ice Beam on the Shadow Kyogre, it would be a much different story. So regardless, these Pokemon are strong, they're impressive, and it is definitely a Pokemon that I'm excited to get in Pokemon Go, including eventually get the raids for that Pokemon, but I'm not gonna hold my breath as for how long that's gonna take. But there you have it, Shadow Kyogre broken down in the game. Unfortunately, it is not loaded into PvPoke, but once it is, I will cover it in one of my future videos, and I will pin it in the comments, so do check back. So I appreciate you guys being here as always. To all my likers, comment, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.